Welcome to the Resilient Mindset Podcast, an exciting new podcast by Resilience Queen, Justine Martin. Justine is the owner and founder of the Resilient Mindset, a division of the Justine Martin Corporation. Justine draws on her years of experience and knowledge, consulting with clients to develop and sustain a positive mindset. Focused on igniting your passion, purpose and power, follow the Resilience Queen each week as she delves into the mind of her guests, exploring fascinating stories and inspiring journeys.
Hello listeners, welcome back. Today I've got Marissa Lake, CEO and founder of Hampers, a gift hamper business for when life happens. Marissa is a mum of 4 and a nanna of 5. Marissa is based on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. Welcome, Marissa.
Thank you.
How are you today?
Yeah, really good, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm great. So let's get into it. What does resilience mean to you?
Yeah, so to me, I believe that resilience means the ability to rise after life's traumas and to find the strength from within to go on.
Awesome definition. So, what resilience or what adversity have you faced and how did you draw on your resilience to cope?
Mm-hmm. So I had my husband pass away on Valentine's Day 2014 from alcoholism that was brought on by PTSD. And then 4 years later, I had my dad pass away 4 days prior to Valentine's Day. Oh. So initially, I'll be honest and say that I didn't draw on my resilience. I felt quite dramatically initially. But then what I did is I removed myself from everything that was familiar. Mm-hmm. I moved away and put myself where I didn't know anyone and basically did use my resilience to go on. So I would lay under the night sky and I would replay in my head that whilst they're gone, I'm still here. So what am I going to do to go on? And that's obviously where my business came from.
So do you think it's like stripping yourself back and rebuilding again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Peeling back all the layers like an onion and removing, so you removed yourself from familiarity and from people asking lots of questions all the time, and that was your coping mechanism?
Yeah, and then I just made it that out of darkness I needed to bring light. Yeah. So, yeah.
Cool. And so you then decided to start your business. You want to tell us a little bit about your business, Marissa?
Yeah, absolutely. So my business started, with obviously having my husband and then my dad pass away, I saw that people's go-to is flowers. And when you've lost somebody, you're giving basically a bouquet of death. Those flowers are going to die.
I so don't do flowers.
Yeah.
For that very reason, I hate watching things die. Give me a plant or something useful.
Yeah, something that lives on, absolutely. Yeah. And then, of course, today people have so many allergies. So you need to be really careful of what flowers that you do give. So for me, it was about starting a gift hamper business for all the colours of the rainbow because life is that. There is times of, really happy. There's times of really sad. So my business was all about giving people an option to let somebody know that they're thinking of them through all of life's moments.
That's fantastic. So what are some of the things in your hampers?
So in my hampers, so everything is true to life. So for instance, I have got cancer hampers that I worked in conjunction with the McGrath Foundation. So everything that's in that box is going to assist the patient going through chemo, both mentally and physically. So there's candles, there's room spray, there's hot and cold packs, there's ginger bears for their nausea. So all of it is in there. And then I write...
There's no fruit tingles. You need fruit tingles in them because I've been through chemo and fruit tingles are the bomb to get rid of that yucky metallic taste in your mouth.
That's a good idea. All right, well, that's one thing they didn't say.
Whack some fruit tingles in there. We're all sitting there in the having our chemo, munching on fruit tingles.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I did is I thought with a gift box, it's nice to open and then it's like, oh, yeah, it's opened. But I take it one step further. So the gifts within my gift box are there for a reason, and I write a story. So the story takes the recipient on a journey to happiness, to hope, or to comfort. So every time they use that particular product, they'll be thinking of the friend that actually sent it to them.
That's lovely. That's awesome. So, and how long have you been running your business now?
So I started my business on the 7th of January 2019. So 3 years, just had its third birthday.
Awesome. Congratulations for that.
Thank you very much.
So let's get back to the resilience and the adversity that you faced. What other coping mechanisms would you say that you used?
I'm very big on self-care.
Yeah.
Like really looking after yourself and allowing yourself to feel, to take in what is happening to you at different points in your life, but then also being kind to yourself. So I'm someone that does really I'm an avid planner. So I kind of talk my way out and
Yeah. So what planning system do you use?
I literally sit at the beach.
Yeah. So you ground? You do grounding?
I do, yes. Yeah. I do, yeah.
I was talking about this on my last podcast that, grounding is extremely important.
It is.
To get back to nature, to put your feet in the ocean, to put your feet on the sand, or even if you live inland, put it on dirt, put it on, somewhere that you can ground. In modern society, we all wear rubber-based shoes nowadays, and we don't ground.
Yeah.
And, we don't have the leather sole shoes, which used to ground us. So therefore we have a lot more aches and pains because we're not releasing that energy out of our body. So grounding's
the
really
other thing
important.
I do too is I manifest.
Yes.
I love manifesting.
So you want to explain to the listeners what you actually do with that?
Yeah. So I write down my order of life like I'm going to a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to achieve, and then I just believe it. So I live my life as if I've already accomplished it. And since practicing it now, I would never have believed it to start with. But one of my friends actually introduced it to me, and I'm thankful. So I write on my bathroom mirror, so I constantly can say things to myself. So it's just, what do you want in life? And giving yourself permission to get all of those things. So we don't fall off this earth because it's magnetized. So what you put out, you get back. So if you're kind, you get kindness and so forth. So, yeah.
So I do vision boards. I have vision boards. So I have one here in my office. There's one on the fridge. There's one in my bathroom and there's one in my planner. And,
absolutely. That's cool.
Same thing, vision boards, manifest list. Yeah. You don't want to write on your bathroom mirror, you can use sticky notes up in there as well. I write on everything at home. I have a big black board in my office here, and in my studio I use chalk pens on my windows. Yeah,
that's what I've got. Yeah,
chalk pens.
I think it's just positive reinforcement of yourself, like knowing where you want to go.
That's right, and setting goals. So goals are important to you.
Yes. So every birthday, I actually sit and I reflect on the past 12 months and how did I go according to my plan that I set. So every year I set out goals to achieve that are around personal growth and experiences, like learning to use chopsticks, that sort of thing. So then I just evaluate how did I go and then set it again.
That's great. So you've just had a birthday, so you've just set your goals for the next 12 months.
Yep.
Do you want to share a couple of those with us?
Yeah. So when starting my business, I've always wanted to employ Down syndrome because I think they're going to be as happy as me in my business. So it is about opening a warehouse and I can employ them. That's my biggest goal of this year.
That's huge, Marissa.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you will achieve it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. So let's get back to your self-care. What else do you do for your self-care?
I date myself.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's funny watching people's heads tick when I take myself out. So I will get dressed up and I'll take myself out to dinner. I'll walk along the ocean. I'll go to the movies. I celebrate milestones.
Yep.
So I take myself out to dinner. I have I run myself baths. I meditate. So I'm the most important person in my life. So I need to take really good care of me. And when I do, everything else just works magically. If I'm out of alignment with not, going to sleep at a decent time or eating well or just being kind to me, mentally kind, then it's quite difficult to get through your day.
It is. Have you heard of the oxygen theory?
Oh, I think I have.
So the oxygen theory is, when you hop on a plane and the air hostess says to you, please ensure that you put your oxygen mask on first before you help even your child or the person next to you. That's because if we don't have the oxygen in us, we're going to die.
That's it.
So the oxygen theory is you need to look after yourself first, so with your own self-care. And I think the last 2 years have shown us that not many people were looking after themselves with self-care. And then when the pandemic hit, a lot of people did struggle with it. So self-care is so, so important. I treat myself like a goddess. I am on top of that ladder, and then I don't resent anyone else for trying to take my time because my needs are met first. And
exactly.
I think as mums, we quite often forget our own needs. And we become further and further and further down that ladder, and then all of a sudden, we wake up and think, how did we get here? This is not the life that I wanted. And as a resilience consultant, I help people get back up that ladder. So whether it is, mums or dads or single people, because it is vitally important, self-care. And if you haven't done self-care or you've only just touched on it, there can be a lot of guilt associated with it because, we were brought up not like that.
Caring about everybody else.
That's right. Yeah. But, you're right. We only have one body, we only have one mind, and you've got to look after it. You have to look after it. So, eating properly, fueling your mind, fueling your body. Yeah. Fueling your mind. I don't watch commercial TV anymore. I don't know about you.
Don't watch the news.
No, I haven't watched the news in 2.5 years.
Because it's just, there's no nice stories.
No. And so why don't they do that? Why don't they put positive things on? The world would be a much better place.
Absolutely.
If they showed positive stuff. Yeah. And, I control what I'm seeing on social media. If someone's values aren't aligning with mine, I don't unfriend them. I just unfollow them.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you can hit a button to unfollow for 30 days. So I'll unfollow for 30 days, and if they come back on and they're still not aligning with my values, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to unfollow you again. So, and they don't know. They don't know.
That's right.
So, and, I have 2,500 friends on Facebook, so I can't see everyone anyway.
Yeah.
So, no, I missed that one. Sorry. What happened? So, yeah. Okay, so any other adversities that you've faced and you've gained resilience from? Yeah,
so I'm an adopted child, and I did, for most of my first part of my life, self-sabotage pretty well, purely because just not understanding, not coping. So back, obviously, when I was a young child, there wasn't mental health awareness, I guess, around how it affects children that are adopted. So, and I didn't speak out. So I kind of was getting really lost in my own head.
Well, that would have been your norm. So not knowing to speak out. either.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my biggest thing was my birth mother was on my birthday and on her birthday. So I got identifying information. I used to think, surely, as a mum, surely she thinks of me. And every birthday, I wouldn't actually celebrate my birthday. I was quite harsh to myself. So when I was 40, I actually got to see a photo of her.
Wow.
And it was like something changed. I had a picture and it put me at ease, and I was quite happy that, I'm grateful that she gave me life, like bringing me into life. But, she made her choices, and I've now just got to keep going, living and, being thankful in that regard.
Oh, wow. So what coping mechanisms did you use throughout?
My biggest one would have to be being kind to me mentally, talking nicely to yourself.
Yeah.
Because, at times you don't.
It is vitally important to talk nice to yourself. If you wouldn't want someone else talking that way to you or about you, don't do it to yourself.
That's it.
Because you start getting all these false beliefs, and then you start believing them all
exactly.
when they're absolute rubbish. We all have insecurities. We all have doubts at times, but, definitely be kind to yourself.
Yes.
So, Marissa, who are your role models in resilience, and how do they inspire you?
I don't compare myself and I don't look up to anybody. So I don't technically really have any role models. I am my own role model. So my thing is that I want to be a better person than I was yesterday and a good person today, and just keep going and growing, be kind to people. That's what inspires me, really.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
What are your passions in life?
Definitely my business. I love it. I really, really love it. I have the boxes represent my late husband and my dad.
Yeah.
So the gerberas that are on top of my boxes are my dad. They are gerberas were the flower my dad loved gerberas, and they were the flower on his coffin. So that's my way. So, definitely that. What I love about it is I want as many people as I possibly can to know that somebody is thinking of them. And that's the thing, like you were saying before about the pandemic. When people were removed from their friends, they felt quite isolated. But, of course, we can still phone them. But a gift that has real meaning and purpose is just going to inspire them. So that's what gets me out of bed every day. I don't care about the money. I just love what I do, but more what I do represents and how that can make a difference in somebody else's life.
Yeah, it's epic. When the pandemic hit, I offered care cards. So I handmade cards and people inboxed me on Facebook through my Just Art page, and they would just give me the person's details and who it was from, and then I filled in all the details and I sent that person for them a care card. It was a free of charge service that I did, and I sent hundreds. Cost me money, but it was so worth it to send out these.
It's so rewarding.
Yeah, we don't now get much hard mail.
We don't get happy mail.
No.
We don't get happy mail.
Well, most of our bills, everything, communication comes on email. So to actually physically get something in the letterbox and a surprise is just, it's an amazing thing to do. And I think what you're doing is amazing in your Happy Hampers, just to see the smile on
handwriting.
Yes.
And handwriting. No one handwrites anymore. So my gift box stories are all handwritten. Like, I have writer's cramp by the end of the day, but they're all handwritten. And the messages of from the actual giftee, I handwrite that because I think now everything is typed.
Yes.
So going back to handwriting is really important, and it adds to that personalisation.
Yeah, there's a whole skill level there. It's a handwrite. I've been struggling with a broken arm for nearly 14 months at the moment. So my handwriting used to be really good. At the moment, it's not so good. But there's nothing nicer than a handwritten letter or a handwritten card. So kudos to you. That puts you a step above other businesses.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, so how can people contact you, Marissa?
Yeah, so they can go to our website, which is www.happinesshampers.com.au, and there's a contact us page on there, so they can send me an email or give me a call.
Cool, and we'll put the links in the bio for this podcast as well. So I do have a couple of final quick questions for you.
Go for it.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Yay! I'm a pineapple on pizza girl. Okay, tea, coffee, or hot chocolate, or wine?
Wine.
Wine?
I've only ever had coffee in my life once, and I've never had tea.
I'm allergic to caffeine, so it's been 30 years since I've had it. I'm sitting around now, let alone needing caffeine. Do you get people asking you, how do you get through your day if you don't have caffeine?
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite easy. Do you go for an AFL team?
Well, more a player.
Yes.
Yeah, so I used to just follow wherever Gary Ablett went.
Right. Geelong.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm more NRL.
Yeah. Gotcha. So what NRL team do you go for?
Parramatta Eels.
Cool. And my last question, forgive me for this one.
Okay.
Should the loo paper go forward or backwards?
Forward.
Yes.
You're going to traumatise me because I will actually literally take it off. I'll go to friends' houses and they'll have it the other way. I cannot use it like that, so I'll take it off and I'll put it back on.
I'm exactly the same. So what is that doing that way?
Yes.
Around the other way.
That's it.
I'm with you, girlfriend. I'm with you on that one. So, well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the Resilience Mindset podcast today.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. And remember,
my pleasure.
Listeners, Marissa's links will be in the bio that you can contact her to send a happiness hamper to someone that you care about in your life. So until next time, keep gaining resilience.
We hope you enjoyed the Resilience Mindset podcast. Remember to subscribe to the podcast to get your weekly fix listening to Resilience Queen Justine Martin. Follow Justine on social media at Resilience Mindset or log on to justinemartin.com.au. And until next time, remember, life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient.